Jann Arden's a Canadian singer and songwriter. And over the years, she's put out many albums and singles, some of them bestsellers. She's managed by Bruce Allen, and she has a great sense of humor. Of course, being managed by Bruce Allen, you have to have a sense of humor. You've got a book out called Falling Backwards. Is it I'm trying to remember, is it the third book that I recall with you?
Well, for me, it feels like the first book. I do have two others that were published, and they're kind of a collection of journals.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And so meanderings. My own mother said, there's no story. You don't even talk about what happened the day before. I said, well, Mom, they're just random thoughts. Oh, I hate it.
Anyway, you've got that. You've got the new CD, Uncover Me Too, and I remember the first one with the cover songs on it. And you're out making public appearances. You're singing the national anthem at the Grey Cup game, which thank God we won. And and you have your CBC show. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, actually, I do have some spare time from every now and again. I love to cook. I love to spend time with my family. I like hanging out with my little dog. I have wonderful friends that I just treasure so much. They're my greatest success stories. Love the movies, love to read. I'm really a pretty simple, straightforward person.
This, to me, though, watching your career over all the years, Jann, is probably the most intense period for all of these things.
You can blame Bruce Allen for that. I'm serious. I was walking the seawall yesterday, and I used to be able to traipse around very unnoticed, for the most part, unless you're all duded up. And yesterday, now I'm getting, hey, it's the anthem girl. I said to Bruce, I'm gonna kill you. So television has a very definitive power. People recognize you, they may not know who you are, but anthem girl? Hey, anthem girl, I like that one. But he has stepped the game up in the last 3.5 years working with him. I was very lazy for a number of years. And Bruce is the one getting me on the CBC radio and the Canada Sings television show. He's the guy that's like, I want you to sing the Grey Cup anthem. Your name came up and I want you to do it. Whereas probably 4 years ago I would have said, I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? Why would I want to put my heart through that? It's nerve-wracking. The book, Random House, I've been approached a few times over the years, and Bruce said, you're going to do it. Do it. What are you waiting for? You waiting till you're 90? Write the damn book. So it's just things that you put off, and he's like, no, do it now. So yeah, it's very interesting.
All families are, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but even my family, your family, there's dysfunction in most families.
Really?
Yeah. But you bring it out. You're not hiding anything.
Well, my mom always said there are weirder families than us. And I'm like, really? Do you want to point those people out to me? Because I really need to see them. Yeah, my family they're nutty. My dad was a really big drinker when I was growing up. My brother was, doing drugs and huffing gas and skipping school and being a maniac, which made it easy for me. He was so bad that I'd have to do something really bad in order to draw my parents' attention away from him. And then my little brother was quite a bit younger than both my brother and I, so he was he just flitted about and got away with anything. Yeah, we had a few ups and downs, but we had solidarity and we stuck together. My parents have been married for 54 years this year, and that is, to me, a true testament of their commitment to each other and to us as a family.
There's a dark side to one of your brother's situations there.
Yes, yeah. And continues to this day.
Yeah.
He's been incarcerated for a long couple of decades, but he's always remained very steadfast in his innocence. So I do have to say that.
No, and you know what? It's all revealing about you, Jann, in a lot of ways, because you weren't afraid to say, look, here are the warts in the family. Although you still love your entire family, why not?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but all of us have this. I'm saying you bring that. When I read it, I go, oh yeah, I've got this dark side of my family too. Everybody has.
My job is to make you feel better about your own personal life.
And you did that.
I am not as bad as her. That's my job as a writer and a human being. Oh my God, I'm not as bad as Jann Arden. So yeah, he's, no one is without their crosses to bear, certainly, and it's very hard being a person. I've said that for many, many years. But it's interesting. Being a person is an interesting journey. I think when I was 35 years old, it dawned on me that my parents were people. I'm like, holy crap. I didn't know they had problems. I didn't know they worried about who God was. I didn't know they worried about money. I just thought they were there to serve me.
Yes.
And then it dawns on you like, oh my God, they've got the same crap that I do. And that is a really illuminating day.
Uncover Me Too.
Yes.
Now you work with Bob Rock.
Yes, I did. And that's another...
He challenged you, didn't he?
Yes, another Bruce Allen thing that he brings to the party. The opportunity to work with Bob, who's, you know, Metallica, AC/DC, you know, and me.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi. What's wrong with this picture? No, he was great, and he did challenge me a lot.
But on songs, and I heard Bruce talking and Bob talking while you were over there at the studio recording, because we're all here in the office, and they were saying that you hit notes I don't think you even knew you could hit.
Mm-hmm. I'm lazy. I don't, as a writer, I don't write things that are really difficult for myself. Like, I just don't make a conscious effort to go, I'm going to sing way up there. So when you're doing cover songs, obviously there's a bit of a range when you're doing 5 decades worth of music. But Bob kept saying, let's bring it up a half a step. Let's bring it up a full step. Do you think you can go a little higher there? So you have to find that perfect balance between your lowest low and your highest high. And I'm telling you, I really thought one of my eyes was going to pop out at a few points there, but I could understand why he challenged me vocally. I mean, I can sing pretty much anything. I just choose to kind of keep it on the down low. It wasn't until I was probably in my early 20s that Diana and Ella Fitzgerald, Nancy Wilson, Aretha Franklin, Etta James, all these women from the south side of the track kind of came into play for me, because before that, it was pretty pedestrian in a great way. The Carpenters, ABBA, Olivia Newton-John, Carly Simon, Janis Ian, Anne Murray. It was that kind of white pop side of things.
Vanilla.
So when those worlds collided, I mean, I was in a salad spinner there for a few years. It was just so much.
I couldn't believe, though, Bob Rock picking Que Sera Sera.
Well, that was my choice.
Oh, was it yours?
We can't blame poor Bob for
no,
that.
I was just going to say, he's doing Metallica
He looked at me like
nowadays?
I was nuts. He's like, really? And I remember him emailing me going, that's like one of my favorite tracks on this record now. Don't tell anybody.
That was the contrast I just couldn't believe. Well, I'm glad you picked it out there.
Yeah,
anyway.
it was from my mom.
You Don't Own Me, of course, Leslie Gore, who I've worked with over the years.
Bruce Allen's choice.
Boy, was she ahead of her time when she wrote that.
Yeah. I don't know.
You did a different...
I don't know if there's a lyric that stands truer to the test of time, and it's about women owning their own selves, their bodies, having respect for themselves. So I love that they're just doing the finger wag at the boy, and just like, I'm not a decoration on your, board of life. So it's a great song, stands up very well.
The Beach Boys, In My Room. Now, how did that
One of
come?
my favorites,
Yeah.
Bruce Allen pick.
Did he?
And it was late in the game. We'd probably cut 10 or 11 songs, and he said, I really want you to do In My Room. And when you tackle Brian Wilson, it's a really complicated vocal arrangement, but we kept it really simple. It's piano vocal, and it's very economical. It's a short little song. It's 2.5 minutes long. You're in and out of there before you know it hit you. I'm having the time of my life. I really am. I just, I work with great people, and it really does take a village. I mean, I may be, the person standing out there, but I just work with really, really good people, and we laugh a lot, and it's an adventure, if anything else, I've learned to not be afraid to suck. You got to try things and not always think you're going to succeed at them. That's half the fun.